All right, let's make sure we're on. Not yet. Yeah, we're here. Okay.
How about now?
We are on. How you doing, Mason?
I'm doing good. Seth, how you doing, man?
Good. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Day something or another.
It's definitely
I think this is the fourth week that I've been here. I started a week. Michelle and I started a week early.
Man, we already got 3 people watching. Wow.
Well, that's your wife, my wife.
Oh gosh, you have 5 wives?
My mom.
Oh, yeah, the mom. Good point.
They won't watch long. I'll get into. I'll say something and then I'll leave or something.
Let's not screw it up.
Is there? Oh, I can press. I'm only going to see live comments. Okay, so I want to see live comments.
Yeah.
Anybody makes comments?
Yeah, they're going to come over here. But if you
I won't be able to see them.
Yeah, you're going to see them here on the. You can't comment back. You can talk back to them though.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure that's a premium feature that we're not paying for today.
Well, we're going to start selling a membership service to make sure we can pay for the premium feature of this.
Oh, well, we just dropped 2 people off that comment. Good job. Good job. Well, welcome everybody live from my closet.
Both of you.
And wherever Mason's at.
My dining room table.
Yeah, welcome to the Untitled Podcast version 3. My name is Seth.
I'm Mason.
And we are just kind of riffing in the podcast, video, streaming, Zoom apocalypse.
We thought that this would be a good idea. Like the other 300 million people in the country, we've both sat around having coffee together hundreds of times and said, I think other people should hear what we're saying.
For years.
And now we have Amazon and could get microphones.
Just recently we got Amazon. That's great.
And it's this new thing. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Amazon. And now we're going to talk into microphones to anybody who decides to listen. And even if you don't listen, we're still going to talk into microphones.
That's true. Because there's going to be at least 2 people who enjoy this process. And that's both our moms. So
that's fun. That's fun. So there's something interesting going on.
What's that?
It's interesting. I think that it was going on I don't know. I feel like this started as a low murmur a couple of weeks ago, but now it's become all the I feel like kind of top line of the news about this particular.
Oh my gosh, you see that? Did I just do that?
Viewer comments show up in StreamYard. This is an example. Click comment. Show up on screen. But there was something that where they talked about this hydrochloroquine that's supposed to help with the COVID-19 virus.
Yeah, your wife put out a great post about that.
And that's what's just fresh on my mind because we were just talking about it before I logged on.
I tried to share it, and I shared it. I shared it like a 60-year-old parent would share it. Like I just shared it, and there was like no context. It was just to the news story, and not what your wife had like so eloquently wrote about. And
right,
my friend, I don't know. That was my epic fail for today.
No, it'll happen.
You know what? We're not getting the comments through the bar thing. Oh, I got my comment. That's weird.
You said hey. Did somebody else leave a comment?
Yeah, your wife left a comment. Brandon Ray left a comment. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Michelle.
Well, maybe
if other 8 people. Hey, moms.
Maybe if I pull up the Facebook, so I can see the comments too.
Yeah, if you got a double monitor.
What is this, amateur hour? Of course, I got a double.
All right, good. All right, sweet.
Just kidding. Wait, so are you watching us live on your other monitor?
Yeah, I'm watching the comments on the other monitor.
Gotcha.
So wait. So I don't want to. Yeah. So I failed at posting your wife's eloquent. God, this is growing great. Eloquent post about that. So continue the thought.
Well, wait a minute. I've got
to turn that sound off.
The volume off. Get out of here with that nonsense. There we go. So I thought it was it's just interesting. We were talking about the difference between something coming out that might have shown some, basically the division of people trying to sell certainty or trying to offer certainty prior to, proper scientific testing, proper testing. It is the quintessential N=1 experiment. Like, I lost weight by eating nothing but cupcakes, so now I can write the cupcake diet and say that everybody's going to lose weight by eating just cupcakes.
Yeah, that's
right. So it's I just think it's interesting that's getting sold at a leadership level of without scientific backing and kind of the damage that can come from that, even if it's right.
Yeah,
let's say that even if it's right.
Yeah, well, certainty sells, right?
Oh, it does. It does. Makes people feel
like
good.
If you promise me something, guaranteed it. That's a lot more compelling than it worked for me.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, but I think there is something there. What you were just talking about, that idea of certainty and thinking that this confidence that you have all the answers or want to offer all the answers, and instead of offering questions and even in our conversation, one of the things, like, some people had asked Michelle some questions kind of offline about that post, and she kind of made the comment that, well, I don't know what I should say because I don't really know. And I said, I think that's exactly what you should say, and what people should be saying right now is I don't know. And even from a leadership level, like,
yeah, there's a lot of I don't knows right now. I think we're kind of at a species inflection point of I don't knows. That's probably, don't quote me on that, but
I think that's the title. I think we just found the title of this episode.
I don't know podcast.
I think we just found the title.
Well, I mean, it's interesting to me that there's I don't knows, but honestly, like I think like what the pandemic has taught us, that we don't do a good job enough of slowing down to even reflect on what we don't know, right?
Yeah.
But I think you're right about that. The administration is trying to give you a quick fix, which is the American MO, right? Here's a quick fix for this. Here's a quick fix for that. Here's a pill for this. Here's a pill for that. Hey, you're going bald. Get Propecia. Oh, it might make your sexual life be miserable, but I got a pill for that too, right? So it's just like stacking pills to solve my problems.
Right. Yeah, there's in the fitness industry is kind of particularly is overrun with the magic pill scenario, the quick fix. The 30-day abs and the 7-day butt or whatever.
I have both of those things.
Whatever those, like on DVD or VHS.
No, I mean, I have them. They're here.
Well, I know, but it's because you followed the plan.
That's right.
DVD or VHS or Laserdisc.
Laserdisc. The best format.
Boy, they really missed the boat on that, huh?
Yeah, that was a whiff.
Yep.
I have a memory of my dad buying a Laserdisc player, and we never had a Laserdisc, but we had a Laserdisc player, right? And I remember going to like the video rental store in Statesville, North Carolina, and my dad, I think this may or may not be true, but I think he rented on Laserdisc Return of the Jedi. And that was pretty cool. And that's the end of my story. But we never bought a Laserdisc. So why do you buy a Laserdisc player and not have a Laserdisc? I don't know. Maybe somebody can comment.
I think Hey, Brandon Ray. I just made that comment because I thought it was funny. I'm Mason. I look forward to. I don't know. Do I know Brandon? Or
No,
Brandon?
don't.
I don't know Brandon. Brandon. I look forward to meeting you one day.
Why is everybody's comments not coming into our feed though?
Oh, I don't know.
My ex still has Laserdisc. Martha, that's amazing. What
But
Laserdisc?
but
I know of
Martha,
one that exists. It's called Return of the Jedi.
but Martha, does he have any laser discs? That's the question. Like, and if so, what are they, and how much would they sell them for right now?
I mean, I bet they're worth a lot. All right,
No, they're not.
I bet they are, man.
They're
For
not.
collectors. Let's look.
They're not
I'm going to
worth
eBay.
anything.
Hold on.
They're not worth
I'm
anything.
going to say Return of the Jedi Laserdisc.
They'll pay you to take it.
Oh, you're right, man. One is 310, but you got to remember that's ready for bidding. 1050, 13. Yeah, they're not that. Okay. Oh, $24.99.
That's
$24.99. But
that's not real.
I'm gonna ask for a Laserdisc for Christmas.
You should. You should. It'd be a budget-friendly Christmas gift.
Hey, man, that's what it is.
Yeah. So, Seth, here I had an interesting question for you today. I got an email today from from our local city's library. I didn't read it. I opened it so I could increase the open rate. So when they check the metrics on it, they'll see that another one was opened. I know how these things work. So I opened it, but I didn't read it. And so I'm curious as to, now that we are 3 weeks into this thing, and who knows how long before mass gatherings, and especially something, I was having a conversation today with somebody about different gym scenarios, and he made the comment that the last place he's going to want to go is to, like, your maybe I shouldn't say certain brands, but very public gyms with lots of equipment, that, like, where there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of members that go in and use the same equipment. They have that little spray bottle that you think is cleaning solution, and the towel that's been there for a week. You're
really selling this.
But I mean, but the library obviously being a very public and then obviously shared place, right, where materials coming in and out and things of that nature. So just out of curiosity, as being someone kind of in that space, what is this looking like for, I guess, a library as an organization?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge, for sure. I think one is, so I'm going to answer your question with two answers. The first answer is, what does the library do now as we go virtual, right? Like, that's been my question for the last 3 weeks, is how do you take what is mostly or typically or thought about as a physical transactional experience and customer service model, and transition it to add value to people who can only engage with you virtually. Now, luckily, we've worked really hard on that the past 5-6 years to update our offerings. We got tons of digital products available for people, and a lot of people know about that. And if you haven't checked out the public library in a while, you could go to our website at cmlibrary.org and get a digital library card and check us out. So like, some of that looks like, what does that look like? Like, some of that means like standing up a chat service. So we've got a chat service now running from 9 to 6. We've got some programming for people to book a librarian for technology help or for research help. And that's via Zoom or via a Zoom equivalent. So that I'm really proud of our team for doing all that and moving so fast. To your point, though, there will be a time in the near future where we start to open back up. And I will say, we're going to be looking at our government, especially the state government and the governor, to kind of give us clarity on what should this look like as we proceed to open back up. But what I will mention on this podcast is that we are going to work really hard to make sure that all our items and that our staff and our customers are safe. And we're working through some processing and brainstorming now. So how do you work to guarantee that? And so we've purchased some equipment that we hope will sanitize our books, and we will come up with processes that hope to diminish any chance that people can get sick from using a public library resource. So, but it's a lot of work, man, because they don't have a playbook for when COVID-19 strikes on Amazon.com. So. Well, I'm sure they do now. But
somebody wrote it, but
somebody wrote it. That means it doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's interesting. Like, it's interesting that you mentioned Amazon. A question that came to mind was, do you foresee anything like the library, and pardon my ignorance if this is already a thing, but the library implementing something in a similar sense of an Amazonish approach to where you're actually shipping out books, where you can virtually check them out and you ship them out. So obviously handled with care, packaged, sent to you, kind of the cleanliness of that, as opposed to going in and handling everything and being, as people approach with that, what I'm going to assume will be some trepidation as we go into public places.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to promise that, but that is something we have thought about for sure. And if the budget / strategy were to work out, I mean, that might be something we'll try. And if we do it, Mason, it's going to be like this. We're going to have a small instance of prototyping it, seeing if there, are people who are interested in that kind of service from the public library. It's not a typical service, but we're not in typical times.
I would 100% use it.
Okay, good.
I would 100% use the library more if that was an option.
I'm wondering if anybody watching, would you guys use the library if they mailed the books to your house? This is where you type. And I look at the other screen and I read it.
But we gotta wait for the delay to catch up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's caught up now.
Maybe I'm the only one out of the 6 of us here.
Okay, nobody
there's somebody. Great. There's somebody.
Oh yes, Olivia, my sister, would use this service.
Don't tell them it's our family that's watching this. That's a legitimate. That is a legitimate fan and person in the community who just organically found this informative
resource
podcast.
Yeah. Okay. I'm giving my love to my sister. Shout out to Olivia Irvin. She is a local hero, going up in that hospital every day as a rad tech. I'm giving her a major shout out on my itty bitty podcast.
Yeah.
So, way to go, Olivia. Yeah. We love you.
Thank you, Olivia. Woo! And everybody else who does anything where they are actually forced to be out and about.
No joke, man. Praying for all our healthcare workers who go out every day. It's intense. So.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll mail out books because of this podcast. Thank you, everybody. I don't know. I'll have to talk to the
powers that be.
Yeah, the powers that be. Mason, what are you doing to adjust to this new reality in the gym world?
The gym world. Man, it's going to. Well, like I said, I had a call earlier today with another gym owner. And we were really for no other purpose than just kind of catching up and shooting the breeze. But, man, trying to predict what this is going to be like when this all moves forward back into people reintegrating, I guess. I think there's going to be a contingency that really missed the group dynamic. But I also think there's going to be a huge or a significant hesitation to go back into a 3,000 square foot room with 20 people and sweat flying all over the place and sharing barbells and sharing pull-up stations and things of that nature. And so, being in that part of the fitness world for a few years prior to what I do now, we're going to double down on the private gym setting. I think there'll be some value in understanding that the gym that you are joining is a private facility, so there's no public access. We have a kind of an open. Prior to this, we had kind of an open gym model where people came in and worked out at their convenience. We'll probably be scheduling that out now, where people can still work out at their convenience, but they will be reserving time. And when they reserve that time, we'll have probably a carryover period of cleaning between some of that.
Gotcha. So some new processes, some new.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, like you said, like we were talking about earlier, this idea of certainty, people are going to want to want to know that they're as safe as possible in the things that they find comfort in. And a lot of people find comfort in going to the gym. It kind of becomes their place away from home and away from work to push themselves and kind of explore their physical limits. But I think that there's going to be a new need for safety and understanding what measures are being taken there. And I think that's across the board.
So just for everybody's like knowledge of who you are and what you do, like how long have you had a gym? What's the gym called? What's your itty bitty story about your gym?
Are you still wearing the OPEC shirt? I saw you wearing it earlier. Are you still wearing the OPEC shirt?
Maybe.
There you go.
Yep.
So we were originally, when we opened up, we were OPEX Plaza Midwood was the name of the gym. We've recently started Resolve Strength and Conditioning, and we're located in the Belmont neighborhood of Charlotte, but we called ourselves Plaza Midwood because if you say Belmont, everybody thinks you're going to Gastonia.
That's true. Good job. Who was your marketing person? Who was your consultant? Oh gosh, sorry.
This guy. But we've had the gym I've been doing this at a full-time level since 2017. And we've had the gym since 2018.
And you've been talking about it since 2015, 13, 14? Yeah.
And then just kind of slowly built it up. So I've been involved in this at least part-time level for 6 years. What year is this? 2020?
Yeah, it's 2020.
6 years or so. Yeah. And then prior to that, I had involvement in education and sport coaching. So I've always, in some way, shape, or form, been involved in athletics, and now I'm just involved on the training side of physical movement now. So
cool.
Yeah.
That's a good overview. I work for the library. The end.
Get some.
All our viewers dropped at that moment.
Go get them books.
So how is your emotional health in regard to your business, which is your livelihood? How's that looking nowadays? If I could ask that question.
Yeah. Man, it ebbs and flows. Week to week, as more information comes out, and even we learn more, and we start to see more studies, and we start to see how long this thing's really going to last. We start to understand. I've started to understand and come to terms with the fact that this is not a 2 or 3 week inconvenience. But this is going to be a several month transition. Because even after we hit the peak, there's still, there's an old adage in swimming and in climbing, like, be careful how far you climb because you have to come back down that same distance. So it's, the climb, the hike, the swim is not over when you reach the destination. When you reach the peak of the mountain, you still have to have enough energy and resources to get back down to the bottom. And so, we're as we approach what we think is the peak, what they're projecting to be the peak over the next couple of weeks, we understand that we are probably in for some significant sliding back down the mountain into any semblance of what we would consider normalcy, right?
Right.
And so as we, as that's become more of a reality, there's been an emotional roller coaster of, there's been times of just, screw it and throw in the towel. And there's been moments of, I'm going to change everything. And there's been moments of, just keep the ship steady. And I think where I've landed over the course of the last, I'd say maybe few days, late last week, finally landing in a place where I feel like the waters are a little more stable emotionally, and I've started to see things a little bit more clearly. So, and that just came from, gaining the actual truthful knowledge about where we're currently at as a business, what our projections are for the next 6 months, worst case scenarios, available resources, and opportunities that might lie ahead in the next 6 to 18 months that might not have existed even before. So leveling out emotionally and seeing some opportunity. And my wife brought up a great point today in one of our conversations that it's the opportunity, like see the opportunity, but make sure that the opportunity fits into the level of stress that we can currently endure given all the changes that we've had to undertake. So if that opportunity is a massive undertaking and creates more and more stress, then that's going to be something that kind of drives us down. So we have to be very mindful because we're all going through stress. We're all going through we've all been flipped upside down no matter what industry we're in.
Absolutely.
Every single one of us has been flipped upside down. And so we all have to be cognitive, even in the good things that people are going to try to achieve to do, right? Like people have all these ambitious goals now that they have this, and some people do have more time, right?
Sure.
Like some people's, they do have more time, but their lives have still been flipped upside down and there's still uncertainty even in all of this. So we have to be very cognizant of the level of stress that we undertake. Because our body understands stress and will respond to it.
I think our body understands stress, but we intellectually do not understand it.
That's why we have to be in tune with our body.
Yeah, 100%. Because we're so conditioned to stuff it down, ignore it. Like, let's not bring that up. Like, I went through a very stressful period, probably almost started close to a year ago, maybe 14 months ago. And I started to see a counselor, and that really helped me. And like, he talked a lot what it was. I mean, the main takeaway was like, you need to get in tune with what your body is saying. And like, we have this huge, amazing, wonderfully constructed sensor that is always talking to us, always trying to get us to pay attention. But we've been conditioned, or we condition ourselves. I guess Mason's quitting the podcast. He's back. Okay, good. Well, we've been conditioned to dull it, mute it, not listen to it. And like, we are like infants in our understanding of what our body's trying to tell us. My opinion. I mean, I feel like I learned something at 35. I should have learned a lot earlier in the process. So
yeah, it's but there's 100%. There's science to actually back all of that up. Our body.
I'm not an expert, everybody. Just putting that out there.
Our body will revolt against itself, plain and simple. So we have to make sure that we are keeping things level. Slight book plug. If anybody wants to look into stuff like this, I mean, this book, you want to talk about just a little nugget of gold, in my opinion. Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. If you pay any attention to stuff that we do along the line, you will see me come back into about the same 3 or 4 authors, and he is definitely one of them. But man, that book, when you want to talk about just slowing down, creating some awareness around your life, this idea of like stillness being the key, of like when you those are the times where you're going to realize something is off. And if you can just be still with it for a moment, you're going to find out what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. It's also available at the public library via ebook and e-audio. I don't know if it's on e-audio.
And apparently, coming up soon, Seth will mail it to you personally. He promised it earlier in the podcast. You can just find wherever this is afterwards, just rewind it. You will hear he guaranteed that they are going to be mailing out books. No limits. You want 40 books, they will send you 40 books.
If you're not careful, he's only going to be me in a minute. So, yeah, Ryan Holiday's a good place to start for some of that stoicism.
Shit. Yeah, he's got a great email list, great book recommendations. Yeah, check him out.
So I kind of. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Unless you got a burning question, I'm gonna jump in here. So the emotions,
Mhm.
the management of them. How do you do that? Like, what are you personally doing right now to kind of manage those parts of yourself that can get inflamed or get in a funk, or what's your practice look like?
So on my best days,
Yeah, let's keep it to the best days.
Yeah, on my best days, I will wake up in the morning, and I wake up before everybody else in the house. I have two kids, 3.5 and 8 months, and so I'll wake up before everybody, and I'll come out into the living room, make a pot of coffee, and I use there's a meditation app that I use called Waking Up. It's Sam Harris's meditation app, and I'm a Sam Harris fan, and so I kind of got in on the early adoption of his app. So I'll go through that for usually about 20 minutes. It's usually about a 20-minute session, and I'll just kind of sit on my porch. I have a little side porch over here, and sit on the porch and do that. And I'll come in and get a cup of coffee and read usually something like the Daily Stoic, or something like Stillness is the Key, or one of my other books. I usually have like 2 or 3 of these types of books going, very similar to Stillness is the Key. Reading a chapter or passage out of those in the morning, that might take me 5-10 minutes tops. And then I'll get up and I will go for a walk. And that walk is usually about a 20-minute walk before everybody wakes up. Come back in, answer some emails. And then when my daughter wakes up, I go for a walk with her. And so we've started this thing where we're going for a walk every day. My daughter's a 3.5-year-old. And so she'll wake up and she'll come running out, and we'll go for a walk. And then I kind of, at that point, within some of answering the emails and stuff like that after my first walk, I'm doing some programming and some business stuff. And at that point, I try to shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
I try to shut it down at that point. My wife's job is very involved. So I try to disconnect. I found my most stressful days are where I try to stay connected to everything.
Yeah.
Where I'm trying to produce the same amount that I was producing before.
Yeah.
And so just being aware of when that happens, So I try to, if I find myself getting stressed out, that clicks on, for me, that's a mirror reflection that I'm attempting to do too much at one time.
Yeah.
And so I try to shut down the thing that's not important right then. And
that's good.
And then at night I go through the day, and once the kids go to sleep, my wife and I eat dinner, and we watch a little bit of Tiger King, and
hey, oh, you cool cats and kittens.
That shit is gold. And so we're not watching Tiger King anymore because we finished it.
Tiger King is America encapsulated.
I mean, you couldn't have planned a pandemic and the release of a show better. The only thing that would have been better is if it would have if this would have been started by someone like eating.
A new episode?
No, there's not a new episode.
Yes,
it's all
there is.
at once. No,
they dropped a new episode on Tiger King. They did.
That's not true. Oh,
maybe our 6 viewers can tell us the truth.
I have to walk away and get my charger real quick before my computer dies.
Entertain. You better do that.
Entertain the people.
Don't know what I'm going to do. Thanks, Mason. Okay, everybody. While Mason's gone, I would like you to come up with the craziest questions you can ask a man, and he has to answer them. So please go. Yep. Carol, come on, guys. Hurry. He's right here. Come on. Carol Baskins cannot be trusted, Darius. That is true. Come on, questions. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on, y'all. Come on.
I don't know if you heard, but we are a professional podcast. Professional.
Our viewers are amazing. The mighty 6.
Do we have 6?
That's what it says.
Awesome. Sour Patch Kids or Skittles? Skittles, 100%.
Yeah, I think that's what I would answer. I'm not big on the sour
No.
candy. All right, what
No.
about you, Olivia? What would you choose? And we have to wait for the lag.
But that means this pause is going to be right after the. You know, this lag time stuff is all Janet Jackson's fault.
Oh, she's Sour Patch. I knew that. Yeah. Oh, Darius is
more Sour
Patch.
Patches. How do I downvote this stuff?
Sour Patches.
Oh, I'm gonna angry face.
Angry face. Oh man.
Angry face. Angry face. That's my sour face.
Skittles changed though. There used to be lime Skittles. Oh my gosh.
God, all of
wow. I think I like Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, I was just kidding, guys. I love Sour Patch Kids. What about you? What's been your ritual? How are you keeping it between the lines, Seth?
I'll be honest. I've probably not been the most healthy here recently, but we can't blame Janet Jackson for the lag. Good to know. Was that something you said? Because I missed it.
I did. I said it's this is Janet Jackson's fault that there's a lag.
That's probably true.
Well, no, it's from the Super Bowl.
I remember
when the Panthers.
Wait. 2005. Yes, it was 2005. Yes, it was
2004.
Yeah.
Whatever it was,
I'm gonna get you naked at the end of this song. That's how it went.
And clearly, that was an accident.
Yeah, it was. Shocking.
So you were saying you're incredibly healthy.
Darius is our fight. You're right. It's 2004.
Sorry. You're completely healthy. You're the epitome of proper habits of how anybody should be handling this right now. That's what you were saying. Go.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Sorry. Ooh, Jan Jackson into the ditch. Come back out. I am taking. It's really important that I have an outlet. And so like some of this is an outlet. I think that's healthy. I'm also trying to do some video game streaming experiments on the side. So like I'm streaming tonight with you. I'm going to stream tomorrow and Thursday and Saturday night. And I'm just trying a lot of things, but honestly, it makes me feel good. It gives me something to look forward to. Work's been really challenging. Not going to lie. Not that it's not rewarding and meaningful. Like it's been good, but it's the combination of work and homeschooling and trying to give best to my wife, my kids, and my job. It's been really hard. So I'm working to organize my life a little more intentionally so that I can own all the parts and be responsible with them and try to, just acknowledge like there's just a lot going on. But so I don't know if the streaming projects are bad. It's just interesting. Like I feel better knowing I've got something I'm doing. And maybe that's just nervous energy. And so we'll see if anything comes of it. I think this has been fun. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you. I mean, this is the only time we really hang out is this. So.
Yeah, this is one of those outside connections that I'm getting. Albeit I talk to, clients on a regular basis, but this is the opportunity I get to talk to somebody that is not in a work sense, I guess is probably the best way to put it. So,
yep.
Anyway, where are we at? We're at
39 minutes.
39 minutes
of live talking.
All right.
With no real agenda.
Right.
I got a question for you. What's something that has scared you past 2 weeks?
Well, that's what we talked about earlier. My 6 month projections.
Yeah.
6 month projections on the on the gym. But I will say that it's been that fear that is starting to push me, I think, in a better direction. So I think the perceived fear, because it was something that was fearful before, the perceived fear was very reactive in the first week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And now that fear has shifted into a proactive and productive fear because I've applied some truth to it. So, I definitely sat back and I did not immediately do any projections because I didn't really know what to project for.
Right.
Mecklenburg, there were some places that were saying, yeah, let's just shut down for 2 weeks and let's see what happens. And so, we started going down this thing and we didn't know how long it was going to last, 15 days, 1 month. And now that I think that we're getting some clarity on the severity of this thing and maybe the length of it, I'm able to make some better plans. And so, but it was scary to start to put the numbers together and even to look at the numbers and the projections. Like that was scary.
Because it makes it real, right? I mean,
it's very real. And while I wasn't too far off of what I thought it was going to be, to see that as a reality was like, okay, well, that's what it's going to be. Like, because what I was thinking it was going to be was the fear. Like, what if we are projecting to lose this much? Well, at the end of the day. So I think that shows there is some value to truth, though.
Yeah.
There's a value in projecting or perceiving a truth and then actually knowing a truth. Again, even if they're the same thing. Well, now it's on paper and I know the truth, and now I can put on paper some proactive plans to work through that.
Right. Well, I think too, like taking again back to the idea of responsibility, like acknowledging the fear, seeing it, investigating, like not like still making an action in face of because the fear, right? You're not letting the fear keep you back from not knowing. You're going to look under the rock. You're going to see it, whatever it is. I think that's really cool. My fear most recently was doing this. I was really I was starting to, I mean, because we've only been Zoom calling and recording and throwing it up on YouTube and saying, hey, look at this. Like, I didn't know how a 6-person audience would reflect on this. I mean,
well, what's been
fun. It's been good. It's fine. Nobody's like, this sucks and leaving. They're at least not saying this sucks.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. Tyler Johnson just jumped on, so he'll probably
hey Tyler. How did you see
some
that?
2 cents. I saw that Tyler Johnson joined in. That's one of my buddies in the training space.
I know Tyler Johnson too. I grew
up. You do know
with
Tyler
that guy.
Johnson?
Yeah, I know Tyler Johnson.
Tyler, we both know you. How weird is that?
Small world. Is he going to respond? No, he's going to ghost us. He's going to hang. He's not.
Oh, he's not. No, I'm out of here. I'm out of this nonsense. Well, as most good fans do, he's probably just kind of logged on and then turned the volume off and go do something, and we'll go watch Tiger King. Thanks for the support, Tyler. That's the thing. We don't need you to listen. Like, once we actually make this a legit podcast and we put it on. And we well, that's the thing. Like, we just need people to download it. You don't have to listen to it. We just need downloads. So give us likes, 5-star reviews, and
we don't even have that yet, Mason. We're just
shares and props and all that jazz. You don't need to.
Yeah, shares would help.
You don't need to listen to this. Just share it and like it.
Share it. Just share it. Speaking of sharing, if anybody likes live streaming video games, you want to spare me a digital thumbs up. I'm really trying to hit 100 before the end of the week. So
you're trying to hit.
I just lost I think 3 people. They jump back down. Anyway,
you're trying to hit 100 thumbs up.
Yeah, if I get 100 thumbs up, I get to actually stream with Facebook gaming. Dun dun dun.
Oh well, I saw you on there the other night, and I didn't.
I know you didn't
thumb you up.
You could thumb me up, man.
I'll give you an up thumb. That's gross. Why does this scare you? Why does getting in the virtual world and talking into a microphone? What is the scary part of that?
There's nothing really scary about it now that I'm here. Yeah, Darius, more shameless plugs. That's it. I don't want people to think I'm a selfish person or all about me. And I really am not. I'm honestly doing this streaming stuff as an outlet. And whether anybody really likes it or not, I don't care. I got this microphone. I like this stuff. I like our friendship. I like our talks. I mean, I think other people might too. So let me unwind that bailiwick and say, I worry about what people will think and what people will say. Oh, Seth, he's doing all this streaming. Guess he is full of shit. I don't know. Which they probably know that's true. But I think that's the truth of it. I'm worried about what people might think. But, you know, we're only on the earth one time, and you might as well do as much as one time that I know of. Might as well try to do as much as you want to do, and you know, try to help other people. And that's pretty much about all I can do. And that's what I try to do. So.
Yeah, way to talk yourself out of the fear. Good job. Let's see here. What in the world?
Oh, it's Michael. Hey, Michael Engelbrecht, you're not selfish. You're not selfish, man.
You might be. I don't know.
Michael Engelbrecht is a true library hero. He works with me at the library. Appreciate you being here, Michael. Thanks for being here.
Let's see. We're getting in the home stretch here.
Darius says, well, you already know I don't think much of you. Well, thank you, Darius. It means a lot. Yeah, I guess we are getting the home stretch. We got about 15 minutes now. Don't you give up on me yet.
I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up.
Don't you go. Don't you back off of me now, Frodo Baggins.
What do you think? Here's an interesting question, maybe that can lead us into the this final 15 minutes. And obviously, all three of you that are tuned in here,
hey Mason,
might be listening in the background.
Not the barge in here, but we did program this to last an extra 30 minutes. So. And but it's okay if we only got an hour worth. That's good.
And boom goes the dynamite. So, what do you think? What industry do you think is going to be the most two-part question?
Okay.
Because I wanted to go negative. So, what industry do you think is going to be the most positively affected, and what industry do you think will be the most negatively affected coming out of this? And we're all making assumptions, by the way.
Yeah, this is,
and we're not shitting on anybody's industry, by the way. So don't let us think that we're like puffing anybody up or tearing anybody down. This is just pure curiosity.
I saw a meme about it was a Scooby-Doo scene, and it had a ghost, and it said, "And the true conspiracy around the coronavirus," and Fred pulls off the ghost mask, and it's Zoom. So I think Zoom's going to do pretty well. They've had some security issues, and
I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I think they're going to do just fine. They've had some
Facebook's had some security issues too, and they seem to have made it.
Yeah, there you go.
This video will now not exist on Facebook. We just got deplatformed on our third episode ever.
I think the toilet paper industry is going to do just fine. I mean, if people keep hoarding the TP, they're going to do fine too.
I heard some interesting insight about that. I'll come back to it. Go.
Okay, so that's like the funny on the nose. Brandon says streaming services, delivery, Amazon, food industry is getting hit. Yeah, that's true.
Hold on, Brandon. Do you think that streaming services and delivery services are going to increase, and then the food industry is going to decrease? And
I think that's how you should read that.
So I know that's an immediate thing. Do you think that will? And Brandon, you can answer this in the comments. Do you think that will be something that continues? You think we'll still see that 6 months down the road? All right, go ahead, Seth.
I want to see what Brandon says.
Well, there's the Janet Jackson delay, so we got to wait.
Janet Jackson delay.
So while we're waiting for a comment, you have to sing Janet Jackson songs.
Oh, I couldn't do that if you paid me. Well, maybe if you pay me. I think there's going to be a lot of innovation through this time, because this is a whole quarter of disruption, at least, if not two. At least. So I think restaurants are going to have to really. Restaurants are getting slammed, like, in a bad way. Like, I mean, I don't know about you. I've only taken out. We've had one meal from a restaurant takeout one time in the last 3 weeks.
We've done 4. 3 of them have been from the same place, because it's a restaurant that we trust excessively. we've been going to for years, and just the way that the owners operate their restaurants, like I trust that place more than anything. And then the other one that I walked into, I've always had great experiences there, and I walked into and was very impressed with how they were operating.
And I think that's great. I just think though the default is we're not going out to eat.
Oh yeah, but at this point, like I say that, and I don't know if we'll go back in the next like two weeks to a month to those places, even for takeout. But yeah, go ahead.
So I think the food industry is ripe for some change, some innovation there, just to survive.
Darius had a good point with the with grocery stores, saying more people will be ordering groceries online, and maybe not even for delivery, but also for just for pickup. So you could see the workforce and kind of way things operate in the grocery store business changing significantly too.
I think it's going to take a while for normal. Like you said something though, just in general, like back when we get normal. I don't know if we're ever going to get back to normal. I think this is a September 11th scale cultural shift that's going to happen.
Yeah, there's no back to there's no back to the way that things were. There will be before this happened. There will be after this happened. This is a generational event.
Olivia just mentioned that telehealth is really booming, which is freeing up the ER massively, that's a step in the right direction, to kind of meet people where they are. And I think that gets back to like some of the work I do in the library is making sure that people have access, right? And it's really hard. Like, so I took my kid to urgent care a couple weeks ago, a long time, actually it was a couple months ago, it was way before this COVID stuff. And I saw this family come in and they wanted to go see the doctor at the urgent care, but they had not booked online. And everybody was booking online to get in line. Like, what happens to people who can't book themselves to just be in the line with other folks? There's thousands of people in our cities and our communities who don't have access. And that's the one thing that I'm working to try to figure out, work with the other leaders in the library. Like, we used to offer internet to everybody, and we're still offering internet from our branches right now, turned on, but you can't go in. But maybe if you stand outside the branch, you can get some internet. But like, that's a huge, not having that for people. That's a huge lifeline for people nowadays. It's not a nice to have. It's a real necessity.
Well, yeah, especially with the way that this is going. How do you think, in terms of good segue into talking about the healthcare field, how does healthcare in general change? We've talked about this, and I think we might have talked about it in one of the first two conversations that we had, or maybe it was offline.
Yep. No.
But this idea that we've had, massive unemployment, but we also have a healthcare system that is dependent on employment to get healthcare, and a majority of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. And now a significant number of people have filed for unemployment and lost their jobs, and they're going to lose their health care, and all because of a virus that if they catch, they are going to need health care.
Yeah, I would say it's more than significant, Mason. I think it's I don't want to like trump it up, like make it bigger than it is, but I think last week we did a podcast a week ago, and I said 3 million people applied for unemployment. And I think now the number's 6. I think now the number's 6 million. I want to fact check that, but even if it's a blip, it's a huge blip. Even if the economy roars back to life, we've never seen unemployment that fast. So
when you say roar back to life, like roar back to life might be 5 years from now.
Yeah, it very well may be. Yeah.
And I haven't checked this out either, but I recently heard people discussing, like, obviously other pandemics historically. And they said one of the biggest things, we briefly discussed the Spanish flu, but apparently one of the big things was the second round of the Spanish flu that really hit people hard. Obviously, like it was a seasonal thing, and it kind of went away and people forgot about it, and then it came back very, very seasonal, the flu. But the second time it came back, it had a massive impact. And I'd have to go back and check that, but it made a lot of sense. Where it got off of the radar, and then a year later, came back and continued its onslaught.
So quick Google search says this. It says it's about a Fed story, but it says U.S. economy is not in free fall despite the 32% unemployment projection. 32%. And so let's get back to what we were talking about, which we are not experts in at all, but we can armchair quarterback. Regardless on what you think about it, like you're right. Employment secures benefits, secures healthcare.
Yeah.
You have to have a job to have healthcare in this country. And now 32% of our country does not have healthcare, does not have a job.
Yeah.
So you better believe that is going to be a massive issue come election time. Because the fact is, like, you can't make capitalism work in a world where the rules are you've got to stay at home. It just isn't. That's not going to, and I'm not here saying, woohoo, let's be socialist or communist. I'm not saying any of that, but like, I'm just saying like the economic models, we have not quite yet invented a capitalism that is robust against this threat to our existence.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We have to look at our economic models in a completely different way. Speaking of that, we would like you to support this podcast.
That's coming down the road. We got to get some. We got to get a little bit more free content out there.
I'm happy about the 5. Oh, the 6 strong. The 6 strong.
Have we held 6 the whole time?
Oh, we've definitely held almost over 5 for an hour.
Yeah. Well, I think my wife is on, but she's asleep with the phone on. She's.
Good job.
Good stuff.
Michelle.
Good stuff. Yeah. Thanks, all you guys for hanging in there and for your comments and thoughts and opinions and all that jazz. If you guys have any ideas of stuff for us to talk about in the future, one of the things we've started doing is after the first 2, we decided that we should actually have a conversation before we record these things, and so we try to spitball some ideas and some topics to riff on. But at the end of the day, this is just 2 guys existing and riffing and trying to figure out the world. So, hey, all right, Brandon.
Hey, Lindsay. How you doing, Lindsay? I know
plus
Brandon's
ones are always welcome. Yeah, there's enough chicken for everybody. It's at a wedding we have to +1 because of all the meals.
Oh yeah, rubber chicken. Gotcha.
Yeah, so you have there's enough chicken for everybody. But yeah, we'll always take suggestions, questions, ideas. If you ever have any questions around the fitness stuff and nutrition, health, and wellness, I'm realizing more and more as I get into this that I don't know anything, but I will tell you the things that I think that I know.
Way to upsell that.
Hey, no problem.
And if you like video games and libraries, I'm your man. And Mason's laughing uncontrollably, I guess.
No, I had to cough.
It's pretty scary, Mason.
I'm quarantined. It's fine. I almost wore my quarantine mask. I bought one of the ones. Do you know who Jocko Willink is?
Oh wait, yeah.
Discipline is freedom. And yeah. So his company.
Like Bane? Do you look like Bane?
Yeah. So his company is Origin Maine.
One of us must die here in the explosion, brother.
Yeah. So I brought back the old pullover. Oh, Darius has a good question there. How long do you think it'll take for live sports to come back? I think we will see live sports. Unfortunately, I think they'll try to force it. So I think we'll see live sports before the end of the year. I don't think that football season will start on time. But I think that we will see live sports. I think we'll see live sports on TV. I don't know if we'll see live sports in person. Does that make sense? I think they'll do it to where they can get teams on the field in empty stadiums. Very much like they did a UFC event, actually, before this whole thing hit the fan, and they did a UFC event with an empty arena.
Did they keep the fighters 6 feet apart?
No, they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they do that.
And so, but it was interesting. Like, and they were commentating on it. And actually, in that event, I think it was one of the better fights that, like, they would probably say historically, one of the better fights that happened. It was between two female fighters, and I can't remember, but they just I watched the highlights of it. It was nuts.
Ooh,
But
I don't think I'd watch that. I don't know. Like,
no, it's great.
Okay.
Well, first of all, it's fine. They
Sure,
could both
it is
be.
fine.
They could both beat both of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
You might stand up a little longer than me. But yes, at the end of the day, there'd be blood and it'd be ours.
Yeah, yeah. I look, that might be a good topic sometime. I look at the UFC and I enjoy that, and it's something that I think that is something that they choose. They make that cognitive decision to step in there, and they train for it, and they, it's a decision that they actively make, particularly with the UFC.
I remember I don't know when it was, but I remember the very first time I saw a UFC match, and I saw a guy clock another guy, and blood just came pouring out his nose, and it was just like, this is not the WCW versus NWO of old. This is not Hulkamania.
No, this is for real.
That was a real punch, man. Holy
this is for real. Yeah. But yeah, Darius, back to that. I think it's going to be, before we see stadiums filled, cheering on the home team. I think we're quite a ways away from that, unfortunately, as a sports fan.
Yep. No Cam Newton on the Panthers either.
No. Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay.
Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. Cam Newton's it'll be interesting to see where Cam lands.
Good luck, Cam.
I hope the best for him. I've been a defender and a supporter since day one.
Yep.
Since day one, we are, our household is huge. Are huge Cam Newton supporters. So
we had a really good year in 2015. Holy cow!
Yeah, I hate that he didn't win a Super Bowl here.
Darius is calling Atlanta. That's where Cam's going.
I mean, that's where that's home.
I bet he'd do well there. I bet he'd do well there.
So I don't know how that turf would do on his knees, but we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It's gonna be interesting. Like the whole the whole team has turned over since Ron got axed. So it's kind of interesting. So we'll see what happens. Yep. Well, man, I think we're gonna shut her down. What do you think?
Yeah, let's close up shop.
Hey, man,
we'll do it again next week.
Yeah, this was fun. I like the live. I like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't too distracting. I want to thank everybody for hanging in there for an hour and 2 minutes. That was unexpected. Really appreciate it. I like how we have 12 people who log on while we're about to close, but whatever.
Hey, hit the likes, hit the shares, and we're gonna do it again next week.
Do you want to do it again at 9 again? Do you want to do that again? Mondays at 9? Start your week out right.
And Brandon, next time you bring a +1, just bring 2 computers. So let's get
and 4 phones. No big deal. Well, this was fun. I really enjoyed it. And Brandon, it's nice to semi-meet you, Mason. Brandon, I'm going to tell you that's preferable.
This is the best way to meet me.
That's all you need in your life. You don't need any more than that. You don't need any more than that. I guess before we sign off, just wish wherever you guys are, if you're watching this, wish you health and blessings and safety in these uncertain days. And Mason, I'm thankful for our friendship. I'm glad we get to continue doing this and doing a project that's always fun. So
yeah, man, stay safe out there and stay 6 feet apart. And let's keep having some fun with this thing.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Take care.